Hello and Happy New Year. I'm Andrew McCullough and welcome to City Edition, a video news magazine that keeps you informed about our city government. In our first segment, we'll learn how the city's water and sewer infrastructure plays a vital role in our community and why maintaining that existing infrastructure is fundamental to the city's ability to service its customers.
Water and sewer infrastructure is defined as the pipes in the ground and the treatment facilities that we have to supply folks with potable water, as well as take care of the wastewater here in the city of Bend.
The water treatment facility is at our Outback area, and we also have our intake structure up at Bridge Creek near Tumalo Falls.
The sewer infrastructure, wastewater infrastructure, consists of all the collection system, pump stations, conveyance, piping, and as far as on the treatment side, consists of the wastewater treatment plant.
Our wastewater treatment facility is located out by the airport, which is at a lower grade than the rest of the town, so most of the flow is able to flow by gravity.
This is located at the lowest point of the city, about 3,400 feet of sea level, so that the typically Bend is at 3,600 feet.
We do have some pressurized systems throughout the town, though, to get the flow up and over areas that might be of a higher grade in order to continue on down to the treatment plant.
Public Works is responsible for both the water and wastewater infrastructure. It's our goal to maintain the 950 miles of pipelines that we have in the ground, that's both water and wastewater, as well as our wastewater treatment facility we have in the city, and all of our well sites around town, and also our surface water intake structure.
Our water system has pump stations that will provide flow to the higher areas throughout town. So we have Aubrey Butte, we have different areas of town that are at a higher level than other areas where we pump the flow up.
Upgrades currently underway on the supply side for our potable water is here at the Outback facility. You'll see behind me we have 2 tanks of the older version, the steel riveted tanks, that hold roughly 1.5 million gallons apiece.
The old tank is a steel bolted riveted tank which is prone to failure just due to freeze-thaw conditions. The new tank behind me, the green tank, that tank is a steel welded tank and has a much longer life expectancy than the older tanks.
These tanks are due to this Bend growing and the need for additional potable water inside the city.
Our water system is aging beyond the general lifespan of a water system. Normally the water system will last about 50 years and we're approaching 75 years.
If we don't do proper maintenance, we see things such as pipe failures, we see treatment problems. It also has an impact on the quality of the water, both in a potable sense as well as wastewater.
It's important to maintain the system because it's important for the citizens of Bend to have water and sewer that they can depend on.
Our surface water supply was built in the 1920s. It is reaching the end of its life expectancy, especially the transmission mains that bring our surface water supply to town. Those lines need to be replaced in the very near future. When those transmission mains were built, they ran them through the Forest Service land. Over the years, the trees, vegetation have now grown over the top of those mains and roots have encompassed those mains.
Right now it's a concern of ours that wind damage could cause some of these pipes to rupture or just failure due to the age of the pipe. So it's a major undertaking here with the City of Bend to go ahead and remove those pipes and put new pipes in the ground so that we can continue to have a surface water supply.
One of the options we have when we replace these transmission mains is to consider the option of installing a hydroelectric facility at this site. The hydroelectric facility could generate anywhere from $1.2 to $1.5 million of revenue a year and could offset the city's power needs well into the future.
Slowdown of the housing that we're experiencing really has a silver lining in that it is providing us the time to address some of our needs with the sewer and water systems and do some projections and some planning and some maintenance.
We've been kind of running around and trying to keep up with the growth that's been going on. And this downturn in the housing market has slowed things down for us so we can focus on the infrastructure and, in a sense, use the catchphrase, catch up on some of the infrastructure needs that we have.
And also, it will give us a chance to evaluate how we're spending our money and can we do it more effectively. We're looking at optimizing our system for water and sewer. We're using modeling to help us to put in the pipes where they're needed the most.
As City Council begins to look at the maintenance and improvement of the water and sewer system, we're really encouraging Public Works to look at efficiencies and find those efficiencies in manpower and technology.
An example of the newer technology that we're using to replace the infrastructure is the new pipe we're putting in the ground. The new pipe is a ductile iron pipe and has a life expectancy of approximately 200 years compared to the older pipes, which are anywhere from 50 to 80 years.
And the benefits from all of these projects on the water side is that we're going to be able to provide more robust fire flow protection. We're also going to be able to provide additional water supply to areas for future customers as well.
The upgrade process to the wastewater treatment plant typically takes 3 to 5 years to complete. The current facilities plan that we are developing indicates that the plant will be at capacity in the year 2011. Our flow currently is at 5.8 million gallons per day, and our daily capacity is rated at 7.0 million gallons per day.
We're also looking at addressing the sewer infrastructure and the collection system pipes. We have a study going on right now with the Southeast Interceptor where we're looking at different routing alternatives to take flow from the southeast part of town out to the treatment plant.
Today we're working on the headworks system, which will be the first step in the full treatment plant expansion. In 2008 we will be moving on to other projects on the facility and also in the collection system.
When we're looking at our water and sewer infrastructure, we are definitely keeping in mind the UGB expansion possibilities. We want to continue to work hand in hand with the public and with council so that we're not missing any potential opportunities for bringing people in.
Conservation efforts are really important in the city of Bend. We have to do our duty to try and preserve as much water as we can, and I got to tip my hat to both the conservation folks here in the city as well as the public.
While the city of Bend has grown dramatically in the past few years, the usage of water has actually decreased. The citizens of Bend have done a wonderful job in being very mindful in conservation of water.
Infrastructure needs are an ongoing issue right now, and there is construction taking place in the city of Bend, and I foresee that going on for at least the next 10 years.
The Public Works Department is bound by state and federal drinking water regulations. New federal drinking water regulations are requiring a high level of treatment on our surface water supply in the very near future. That will also be a part of our whole surface water supply study.
At the City of Bend's water reclamation facility, we've got an $8 million project with the new headworks. You see the tanks behind us here. There'll be additional tanks in the future.
We also have new infrastructure going in on the water distribution side. We're putting in a reservoir at Rock Bluff. We have a new well going in at Pilot Butte and out at the airport.
The City of Bend is being proactive in the replacement of the infrastructure. The infrastructure is not something we can wait for it to fail. The consequences of failure of any of the city's infrastructure is too severe to the health and safety of the community.
Much of our infrastructure projects that are planned in the CIP are in the design phase currently, and citizens will see work being done out in the field sometime this spring, April or May.
I foresee infrastructure improvements or upgrades going on, like I say, for at least the next 10 years here in the City of Bend.
Bend has some of the cleanest water in the entire country, and we want to keep it that way. And so to maintain the system, we're going to have to be putting some effort into expansion, maintaining, and improvements to our current system so that we can continue to have the best water in the United States.